What happened when I faked I'd lost my memory at school for a day and learned what people truly thought. Laura's such a loser. She thinks she can lose that weight, but there's no way. Someone should tell her. Hannah, a girl who sat behind me in English, whispered. Why don't you? If you're so worried about it, I asked. Hannah looked like I'd stepped in something stinky. I don't want to tell her to her face, she huffed. It made me wonder what they were saying about me behind my back. I planned it carefully. I researched temporary amnesia symptoms, realistic head injury excuses, how confused but functional someone might seem. I spent hours perfecting asking the same questions twice, forgetting names believably, and acting embarrassed. 3 days later, I was ready. The morning of the third day, I told one person only. My best friend Nolan. I called him saying I got hit in the head during football practice, that the ER cleared me physically, but the doctor said I might have memory gaps for a day or two. Please don't tell anyone. They'll freak out, man. I told him. He promised. By the time I got to school, everyone already knew. Not that I'd hit my head, but that I'd lost my memory. First period, someone asked, do you remember who cheated on the biology test? Another said, he's not going to remember much, so you can tell him anything. People laughed like I wasn't there. I played along. I asked my biology teacher what class it was. The same one you never participate in. My teacher smiled tightly. I didn't expect that to hurt, but it stung. By lunch, the experiment spiraled. People started to test me. Do you remember when you cried during the presentation last year? Or, do you remember when Angelica turned you down for homecoming? And finally, do you remember telling me you thought everyone else was so stupid? I said no to everything. Once that happened, people stopped holding back, because they'd figured out that if I didn't remember, it didn't count. Nolan sat with me at lunch. Someone came up and asked him, does he even remember you? Nolan laughed. Dude, he better not. He's such a jerk sometimes. I froze. The rest of our friends kept going, saying things like, God, he thinks he's better than everyone. Or, why does he think he's the smartest one in the room? And, I hope his girlfriend dumps him. I wrote it all down for later. Teachers started to join in, only a little more politely. My math teacher pulled me aside before class. Maybe this can be a reset for you socially. My PE teacher suggested it was a good thing, because you won't remember how bad you are at sports. And my counselor suggested that I use this time to reflect and redirect my life. By sixth period, the rumors evolved into a life of their own. Apparently I didn't just lose my memory, that I had done this on purpose, to play the victim. Someone made the comment, honestly, the guy's such an annoyance. He deserves what happened to him. That was my final straw. Not the insults, but the relief people seemed to have. People that I trusted looked lighter, like they'd been waiting for permission to say things. I went home shaking, but I didn't stop. I recorded voice memos, made screenshots of group chats about me, wrote down names and their exact quotes. I put together the entire picture. The next day, I asked the principal to speak during our student well-being assembly. He hesitated, but then decided I would say something confusing or pathetic. I walked on stage with a notebook in my hand and queued up the slideshow of screenshots. I didn't lose my memory. I started calmly. The school went quiet. I pretended to for one day, to see what people would say if they thought I didn't remember. I said. Then I started to read everyone's exact quotes, from students, friends, teachers, and staff. Included the exact time they said it. Nolan's laugh echoed when I read his quote. He'd better not. He's such a jerk sometimes. I looked at Nolan. I trusted one person. Everything else came from you, I said. I learned that people will finally show you honesty when they think you'll never remember. I walked off the stage after that shaking, but I was free. The aftermath was quiet and slow. People avoided eye contact when I walked by. Nolan stopped talking to me, claiming I misunderstood, but we don't talk anymore. Teachers quietly apologized, except for Hannah, who came up to me one day after class. I do have memory issues from a fall last year. I fake it so people think I remember. You made me thankful for why.